This is a CCJ News Brief Explainer. The Loop of Fear, why CBC News keeps you stuck on strike and war. It isn't just bad news. It's a deliberate broadcast tactic designed to hijack your attention and direct your focus away from what really matters. If you've turned on CBC News lately, you've probably noticed a pattern. No matter what time of day it is, the broadcast feels locked on repeat. Right now, it's a non-stop loop of looming strikes, labor disruptions, and global conflict. Over and over. Breakdowns in contract talks. Escalating foreign tensions. Repeat the graphics, tweak the voiceover, air the same dramatic soundbites, and push it back out on the next hour. If you feel like you're being deliberately driven into a state of constant anxiety, you aren't imagining things. Legacy media knows exactly what it is doing. The human impact, targeting the housebound and seniors. This non-stop crisis cycle hits one vulnerable demographic harder than any other: older Canadians, seniors, and the housebound. For millions of isolated or mobility-impaired individuals, the television isn't just a gadget on the wall. It is their primary connection to the outside world, their main form of daily entertainment, and often their primary companion. Unlike younger generations who bounce between social media, streaming apps, and niche websites, many seniors leave cable or public broadcast news running in the background all day long. When legacy outlets lock into a continuous loop of strikes, economic collapse, and war, housebound viewers don't get a break from it. They are trapped in a high-stress feedback loop inside their own living rooms. The psychological toll is severe, heightening anxiety, worsening social isolation, and instilling a belief that the world outside their front door is in a state of perpetual chaos. Turning the television into an instrument of fear isn't just unethical media practice. It actively harms the mental well-being of our most vulnerable citizens. The double-barreled tactic, fear and distraction. 1. Threat conditioning, keeping you hooked. Fear triggers the threat center of the brain, the amygdala, while bypassing the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for rational, calm processing. High-drama headlines about economic collapse, labor shutdowns, and international conflict keep viewers in a state of mild, continuous fight or flight. An anxious viewer stays glued to the screen for updates. 2. Strategic distraction, controlling the narrative. By flooding the airwaves with one or two sensational high-drama storylines, media networks effectively occupy the limited space of public consciousness. While the public is fixed on immediate, visceral crises, critical long-term issues, legislative shifts, government spending decisions, policy changes, and foundational stories slip by without the scrutiny they deserve. The endless loop acts as a smokescreen, driving the narrative why polarization sells. This continuous loop doesn't just distract. It fundamentally alters how people react to politics and public figures. When an audience is fed a non-stop diet of existential threats, they become hypersensitive. Every political issue becomes a fight, and every election is framed as an imminent collapse. This is precisely why extreme emotional reactions, like the irrational hostility often seen in modern political discourse, take root so easily. When legacy outlets constantly tell you the sky is falling, people begin treating every disagreement as a direct threat to their survival, completely missing the bigger picture behind the curtain. Breaking the cycle. The objective of continuous news looping isn't to leave you informed and empowered, it's to keep you tuned in, distracted, and reliant on their feed for the next update. Real awareness doesn't come from watching the same crisis package 4 times in an afternoon. It comes from turning off the broadcast loop, looking at raw information directly, asking what isn't being reported, and refusing to let media networks dictate your emotional baseline. This is the Canadian Citizen's Journal,